Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy. Today we are back, and this time we're doing my Nintendo tier list. If you haven't seen it, I reacted to Greg at Egregious Games tier list for Nintendo franchises. So, I had an absolute blast doing it. It was a lot of fun, and you know what? It's now time that I do one. And so, without waiting around, you know the score, you know the game. We're going to do a tier list. Now, I'm not going in any particular order. You can see that I have God tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, did not play. And we'll go from there. Alright, let's start things off. Where are we going first? Let's go with... let's go with Custom Robo. Custom Robo is a game that I really like the DS one. That's the only one I played, but I really liked it. I think this is actually a franchise that really deserves a lot more love, but doesn't seem to get it. It's kind of like, if you haven't played it, it's kind of like Pokemon, but you collect little robots and then you fight the robots. I think it's a really good game. It's a really good series, but I've only played the one game, so I think this is going to go into C tier, because it's not that, just bear in mind, C tier is not crap tier, by the way. It's just, this is a series where I've played one game. I've not played any of the others. I think I like the games. I think they're very fun, the one that I played. But it is a series that really doesn't get much love anymore. But I will say this Custom Robo Arena game on DS was absolutely fantastic. Lots of collectible robot parts. And if you like Pokemon, you like those classic Pokemon games, it's kind of got that vibe going on. So, Custom Robo C tier. We've got a lot to get through, by the way, so I apologize if I speed through some of this stuff. I'll get this out of the way. Another Code and those sort of games, I have not played it. I don't know why I put it in this list, really, because it's not that famous compared to the rest of the stuff. I mean, the Custom Robo isn't that famous either, but I know there's more games in this than there is this, I think. Alright, next up, Brain Age. Brain Age, where are we going? Brain Age is actually kind of fun, but I'm going to put it in C tier. Brain Age is one of those things where I actually really enjoy playing on it when I first had my DS, you know, holding your DS that certain way and tapping it and reading it. Even my mum played this, which is crazy. They're fun. They're fun ideas, the games, like the fact that you can actively learn and get better at stuff. That's really cool. But was there one that came out on Switch? I think there was. I just haven't played it. And I played Brain Age 1 and 2 basically, and that had like a mini game of Dr. Mario in the second one, I think it was. I think those games are really solid, but they're very much of their time. I don't know if there's something you're going to really see or sell much. And in the same vein, even though I haven't played it, Big Brain Academy, I haven't played it, but those games kind of would be in a C tier with Brain Age, because those games, again, they're all about trying to teach you to learn and help you learn stuff. And it's cool that you actively can get better at things. And I think that's really cool, and it sort of tries to judge your age. Not always that well, but it's pretty cool. I like the fact that these exist. Alright. Where to go next? Let's go with Yoshi. So this crafted wheel thing represents the Yoshi series. Yoshi for me is B tier. By the way, I will try to put these in order of what I think goes where. Yoshi is definitely a B tier for me. I think Yoshi's Island is a really good game. Yoshi's Story sucks ass. And then you have Crafted World and you have Woolly World, which I think are both really good games. Or the little I've played of Crafted World. Woolly World is probably my favourite Yoshi game. There are other ones. There's Yoshi's Island DS, and there's also New Yoshi's Island, which is apparently really boring. So the franchise is kind of all over the place. It's very up and down. And there are some games in this list that Nintendo have that are very up and down like that. Yoshi's Crafted World, the Yoshi's franchise, I do think is solidly, for the most part, good. I think there's only probably 2 games that are bad, and the rest are actually all decent platformers. They're fun games, like they do something different. Playing as Yoshi is a lot of fun. I do like the idea they got rid of the whole baby mechanic though, and he's mainly just on his own now. That's much better. The one thing that they definitely need to work on is the music, because the music in these games can be a bit of a snore fest sometimes. But overall, if you want a solid platformer, look at Yoshi's Island and look at Woolly World and Crafted World as well. Those are good games. Alright. You know, I've only played a minor amount of Nintendogs, so I don't really feel like I can put this anywhere. However, I would say Nintendogs is probably B tier. I'm not going to put it there because I've played just a tiny amount of it. But Nintendogs was massive. Nintendogs was huge back in the day, and I honestly think that was a solid franchise for Nintendo there for a while. Like, everybody who had a DS pretty much had Nintendogs, having that virtual pet and stuff. Not really for me. They also had like Nintendogs plus Cats, I think it was on the 3DS. But yeah, Nintendogs definitely would be in a B tier there. But I didn't play it, so it's not going on the list. Okay, what have we got here? Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games. This is a weird one, because I think this is technically made by Sega. And published by Nintendo. But let's pretend for now that this is on this list of things. Going in B tier. I like these games. I think these games were fun waggle fest on the Wii. I haven't played the newer ones, though I will say I think that these games are pretty solid across the board. They're not incredible level, but they seem to have a fairly decent consistency of how good they are. I really like them. I think they're fun, doing like the long jump and track and field events and stuff like that. We don't get, like, having Olympic games like that is pretty cool. Obviously, it's pretty much all mini games. But I've got the first one, I've got the Winter Olympics first one, and I think those are the two that I've played, and maybe played a little bit of one of the others. But overall, I think it's a solid franchise. It's just not going to blow your socks off, unfortunately. If they really expanded on just how many events and the dream events in the games, I think this franchise could easily be an A tier, assuming they really put more time and effort into just nailing everything. And now it's on Switch. I think you use the Joy-Con for it. But I haven't played the Switch one. But I did see that there was fairly good reviews for it. Alright, where are we going next? Oh, Paper Mario. So, Paper Mario is an interesting franchise. The first 3 games, I think, are really good. I didn't like Paper Mario on the N64, but it was still a good game. Thousand Year Door, I absolutely loved. Super Paper Mario, I absolutely loved. And I never played any of the others. It turns out most of the other games are very hit and miss, and so this is a franchise that I can't in good conscience put it in any A or B, oh god tier here or A. This is a B tier game because the franchise is just too inconsistent. Like, yes, Thousand Year Door is an incredible game. Yes, Super Paper Mario, not an RPG, but really cool level design, one of the coolest Starman effects I've ever seen in a Mario game. Really good games, but then you had Sticker Star that was apparently terrible. And you had Color Splash, and you had the new one as well, which the Origami King, that some people say they like. But because they've really messed up the combat system in the new games, they definitely don't hold up to the same level. Like, I really wanted to get Origami King, but the combat was just like, what's the point? And that's my issue, is that they basically turned the combat into it's just pointless. There's really no reason to do combat. And for a game that's focused on RPGs, like, graphically, these games are fantastic. Ideas-wise, these games are usually fantastic. But right now, the state of Paper Mario kind of very middling. Like, you had a great start and it's just dropped off after that. And so, for that reason, Paper Mario goes in the B tier. Alright, let's go with another one that I haven't played, so let's get this out of the way. I have not played any of the Earthbound games, so I have nothing to say on them. I think Earthbound has some really good music, has some interesting systems in play, but it's not a game for me, I don't think. It's kind of a weird RPG. The final boss fight is just bizarre. Alright, let's... where else are we going here? Wario Land, or the Wario series. This is A tier. If you've not played the Wario Land games, they are some of the best, just enjoyable platformers. So you had Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, which was kind of like similar to Mario. It was a bit slower paced, it's all about collecting money. But you had the same sort of things. You had your power-ups, you could die, that kind of thing, overworld map. But it was fun playing as Wario. Wario Land 2 comes along, which is my favourite in the series, and decided to say, hey, look, we're going to make Wario invincible, and so when you get hit, you drop money. The whole game is about collecting treasure, collecting money. There's a ton of levels. There's so many different exits and secret levels in Wario Land 2. Solid game. Wario Land 3 was really, really good as well. Then you had Shake Dimension on the Wii, which, in my opinion, is the absolute best platformer on the Wii. Definitely you could argue a point there being Galaxy or Galaxy 2. I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but for me personally, I love 2D platform games, And Wario Land Shake Dimension is one of the nicest hand-drawn games I've ever played. The soundtrack is incredible. Like, there's so much good about it. And so the Wario Land series is just a fun distraction. It's not as fast-paced as like the Mario games. It's more about a little bit more exploration. You have the ability to pick things up and chuck them and stomping on things, and Wario getting transformed into various like just transformations basically into like snowmen and all this other stuff. Just really silly stuff. And I love it, and I love these games a lot. There's one really bad one called Master of Disguise on the DS. It just did not work very well. So ignore that game, but every game in the series is pretty much good. So for our first A tier game, absolutely. I should probably rearrange this B tier actually. Like that. I think I prefer to play Yoshi. I think those games are a little bit more consistent than Paper Mario. But yeah, Wario Land. Love it. Where are we going next? Let's go with Punch-Out. Oh god, this is skewed for me. I'm gonna put Punch-Out in B tier. Punch-Out Wii specifically is fantastic. I've played the original Punch-Out and I do like it. But Punch-Out Wii is just oozing with charm. All the Punch-Out games, to be fair, are actually quality. There's no games in the series that are bad. The arcade one, you have the one on the NES. You have Super Punch-Out on the SNES. But Punch-Out Wii is my favourite. The music's fantastic, the animations are incredible, the art style really works. The fact that you have to fight everybody and then you do the second round and they will have new attacks and it's much harder. Like, just a very good... It's like a puzzle game, Punch-Out, because it's all about learning attack patterns. So, like, if you like Elden Ring or you like Dark Souls or you like Metal Gear and all these games that have these crazy boss fights, Punch-Out is kind of that in the sense that it's all about pattern learning, it's all about doing boss fights, and Mr. Sandman, who's at the end of those, Jesus Christ, that takes some time to get used to, but it's a really solid series. Pretty much every game in the series is kind of well regarded, but the Wii one was just by Next Level Games, who did Mario Strikers, and so it's oozing with charm. It does have a multiplayer mode, but it kind of sucks, but you could also use the balance board and step with the balance board and things, which is fun. But yeah, Punch-Out, very solid series. Would recommend, if you've not played them, play the Wii one. Alright, let's go for something big, shall we? What have we got going on here? Let's go with the Wii series. Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Play, all of those games that come under this. Wii Chess, everything that was on the Wii basically that comes on there. You've also got the Wii Sports Club on the Wii U, and technically Nintendo Switch Sports. These games, like, yes, they might not be the sort of thing you're going to play for hours and hours and hours, but let's be real, these games blew up massively, mainly Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. I liked Wii Play, you could race cows on it, that was a lot of fun. Play ice hockey and tanks, I got hours of fun out of that game. But the Wii series of games, they are iconic, and they are basically define an entire era of gaming. The Wii came out, and being able to just get Wii Sports with the console, you understood what you were doing. As soon as you picked up that remote, you were like, yes, I know how to, like, whack a ball back, I know how to hold a tennis racket, I know how to bowl, baseball, box, all of that stuff. Absolute sublime. Yeah, they're not the deepest experiences ever, right? This isn't like, Nintendo's core franchises that are like absolutely, absolutely like, the best things ever. But Wii Sports is, definitely defining a genre and a generation, and I would struggle to put this any lower. Maybe B, but the reason I put it in A is just how popular these games were, how easy they were to pick up and play, how much fun, how many stories people had, seeing so many older people get into this as well, and like, it's just even with Nintendo Switch Sports coming out, I imagine that game's done very well. People love that stuff, and I can't really knock it. Seems weird putting it above these games, but I just think overall, like, these are just fun. They're just fun distractions if nothing else. All right, let's do a very easy one for me. This represents Super Mario Bros. 3. Right, this represents the the Mario franchise. There's no, in my opinion, like, Nintendo have a lot of incredible franchises. In fact, all the ones that are on here so far are all incredible franchises in their own. They're not maybe as consistent. Alright, the Mario franchise, the mainline games, might not all be consistent. Like, I don't like Mario 64. Mario Sunshine isn't amazing, but all the 2D ones pretty much, including the Game Boy ones, and then, you know, Galaxy 2, 3D World, 3D Land, Odyssey. Like, these games are incredible. There are no finer platform games. I've specifically picked Super Mario Bros. 3. That is, in my opinion, the best platform game ever made, and I have not played a game that beats that for me. But I will say this, like, right now, like, it's hard to beat this franchise. Like, it's crazy how much Nintendo has endured with Mario. It's amazing how much, like, new stuff they keep bringing. Every game feels fresh, every game feels new. They just chuck ideas at this, but they make it work and they make it fun. It's hard to argue that, you know, Mario is probably the greatest franchise ever. I know people would probably say Zelda is Nintendo's best franchise, but I would say this probably just ekes it out, just because it's a bit more accessible. Zelda definitely is a little bit more complicated in some aspects, but what is there else to say about the Mario Bros. Franchises? It's just, the games are just so fun. 1, 2, 3, amazing games. Lost Levels was hard as nails, but fun. The World's good. You know, all of them. Like, All Stars is one of the first, like, compilations of all these games. Madness. Like, worth it. Like, there's not much that's going to top this for me. Let me just be honest. The Mario series is really, really that good. Alright, let's, where are we going next? Let's go to Chibi Robo. Haven't played it. It's a franchise I kind of respect. Again, it's very weird. It's very different. I know the 3DS one did not do very well, and I think that killed the franchise. But it was a cool idea. The idea of this little robot, you run around the house, you power yourself up, you do chores. Very cute. But it's a series that I think has basically run its course, unless they do small projects on the eShop with it. But Chibi Robo, like I said, I've not played it. I wanted to play the GameCube one. I should play that at some point. But right now, I did not play, so I can't really speak about it. I'm gonna chuck out some of this stuff. Mario Baseball, haven't played it. Probably not for me. Is there anything else in here that I have not played? Technically, I've only played a very small amount of Wave Race. Which I played a bit of Wave Race 64. Now, I actually really like the game, but I do not feel I'm qualified to talk about Wave Race, so I'm going to put it in did not play. I played about an hour of the N64 one, and this was years ago, but right now I don't feel like I could put this anywhere, because I need to play like Blue Storm, I need to play the Game Boy one. But I will say, I think Wave Race is a franchise that should return. It's just a cool idea, water skiing. They did kind of do this in Wii Sports Resort. You'd have the nunchuck and the Wii remote and you'd steer things. That was a lot of fun. Alright, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. There, I think. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is interesting. The very first game is based on that old Donkey Kong game from the Game Boy, which starts off like the arcade one and then goes into a completely different game. That's Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the first one on Game Boy Advance, very much like that. The rest of the series, very different. The rest of the series kind of came to DS, and it was all about touching the screen with the stylus, dragging things, tapping on the minis to make them jump. Nothing like the rest of the Donkey Kong series. A series that I actually really enjoy, but I will say it's a bit samey. There's nothing super... The first game is incredible. The second one was actually pretty good as well, and then after that it all kind of just becomes the same. They didn't change up the formula too much. They did make a 3D one, where it was like, rather than a 2D plane, it was like a 3D plane. It was kind of like slide things around to make the minis move. But yeah, they're kind of a bit samey. They are good though. Like, the first one alone really elevates this franchise. But it's just one of those things. It was a cool concept, and I think just kind of everything. They started chucking out these like DSiWare versions, like the Amiibo version, all this sort of stuff. This was the game they would use to test a lot of stuff. So, but the first, if you ever get a chance to play it, play Mario vs Donkey Kong. It's a very good game. Definitely, as a franchise, it's probably got. Maybe this would go in C. Maybe B is a bit too high. It's hard because the first game's so good. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting this in C because the first game really is that good. Alright, Pilot Wings. Is he going to go top of C? Like, I love the first Pilot Wings game on SNES. Fantastic music. If you know me, I love the light playing music, especially in Smash. It's a really, really cool franchise. But it's also just one of those things that's it's really, really specific series. I think there's only 3 games, maybe 4. There's the original on SNES, you had the N64 one, and you had Pilot Wings Resort on 3DS, I think. Played a little bit of Pilot Wings Resort, that was kind of fun. The original is the one I have the nostalgia for. I actually really like the game. And I never played Pilot Wings 64, which seems to be another game people really like. But it's one of those franchises. I think, you know, if you play it, you'll probably know if you like it. I would say I really like the SNES one. I like what it does. I don't fully understand everything I have to do in the game, but there's something really satisfying about just flying a plane and doing crazy things, and you get like a jetpack and a parachute, and like it's just one of those games. It's good for like score attacks. Like you can try and beat your own scores. You actually unlock a helicopter at one point, and you're flying around a helicopter shooting stuff. All in all, it's a cool series. I don't think we're ever really going to see much more of Pilot Wings, unfortunately, but yeah, if you like the kind of like flight and stuff, it is worth checking out. You know, definitely for me that this is over these. Feels weird putting it over this, some of these games, but yeah, I think Pilot Wings in C tier makes sense. Okay, where are we going next? You know what? Star Fox. Star Fox is an interesting franchise. I've played the first Star Fox. I have played a bit of Star Fox Assault, but very minimal amount. I did the first level, I think. And I played a tiny bit of Star Fox Adventures. And I think currently my thoughts on Star Fox is that it is down here in C tier. And I think so far that's, well, maybe apart from Paper Mario, but I think Star Fox might upset some people putting it in C tier. I don't think Star Fox is as good as everyone makes it out to be. I think the franchise is really cool and has some incredible music. But is Star Fox like that good? Like I think I need to go back and play more Assault. I did play a bit of Star Fox Command as well. I've not played Lilac Wars on the N64, and I think that's the one that everyone's like, oh my god, you need to play this game. And the same with Star Fox Zero. I know the game had issues, but there were some cool concepts in it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I've mostly played the original, and it's an okay franchise. I don't think it's anything special. I think, you know, I'd play it over these things. I'd have fun with it. Like I don't think it's bad by any means, but I think I'd rather play Pilot Wings, which says a lot, really, considering I've only really played the first one. But there's just, I think what Nintendo needs to do with this franchise is either go back and just make some solid games in it. If you're going to make these on-rail shooters, make them just really solid and fun and buttery smooth. And then I'll change my mind. But I think as it stands, like the little I have played of Star Fox, most of my experience is from the first game. Is that it's an okay franchise. I'm not going to rag on it, but you know, I think I like more about the characters being in Smash than I do the actual games themselves. So sorry if you're a Star Fox fan, I just don't think it's like up there. I think it's good, but it's not up there. Alright. Cruising, by the way, I've not played. That's a weird one. Nintendo does hold the license to that, but they're meant to be good games. Okie dokie. Ooh, Mario Tennis. You know what? Let's go into the top of B tier. Mario Tennis, especially Mario Power Tennis, I love that game. I got a ton out of that. That was a lot of fun. I've played Mario Tennis, and I've got the Switch one as well, Mario Tennis Aces. I think Mario Power Tennis, specifically on the GameCube, was a ton of fun. Played a tiny bit of the N64 one, but most of my experience comes from the GameCube one, and now I have experience with the Switch one. I think these games are solid. I mean, they're tennis, aren't they? Sometimes these games feel very like, well, how are they different to like actually playing tennis? I think Mario Power Tennis is fun. I think those games have some fun courts. I think Aces is fun. I like the skills and extra like abilities you get. Really mixes it up. I think this is just a solid franchise across the board. I think people like the original more, and I know that the one on the Wii U was basically a tech demo, which is a shame. But I would say Power Tennis and Aces are very, very, very good games, and I really enjoyed it. And they re-released Power Tennis on the Wii, so you can use the waggle controls, so that was cool. But yeah, in terms of the sports games, absolutely one of the best ones. Very, very solid. Okie dokie, where are we going next? Splatoon. I'm very mixed on Splatoon, but I do think it goes probably above Wii Sports. I think Splatoon is easily a A-tier Nintendo franchise. I actually preferred the first game over the second one, mainly because the first one had the Wii U gamepad. It was one of those games that had the Wii U gamepad, and it worked incredibly well, or incredibly well if you want a bad pun. I didn't get into Splatoon 2 that much. I did play it for about 5 hours, and that was about it. I just, for some reason, didn't click with it. I just feel like that game, the gamepad just made that game. Having the map down there all the time, that chunky controller, being able to like tilt and things, it just didn't feel the same. It's just very odd. It was one of those things I wish had been there like at launch for the Wii U. It probably would have done worlds for that system. But it is a good franchise, so I kind of sit in the middle where I'm like, I love the first one, and I enjoyed the second one for the little I played it. And I'm kind of looking forward to the third one, but it might just be a controls thing. I'll go back and play it, hopefully, and see if they've changed enough to bring me back in. But in terms of an online multiplayer game, it's a lot of fun, and you can just play the basic mode, which is just paint everything, and just have a good time with it. You always feel like you're helping and winning, so yeah, it's a very Nintendo shooter. So definitely the sort of thing they would do to do it. Alright, where are we going next? Mario Maker. God tier. There is no other place on this tier list that I could put Mario Maker. Again, the first one I absolutely loved on the Wii U. Was incredible fun doing it on the gamepad. A lot of the reason why I enjoy this game is it let me play more of what I loved about the classic Mario games. More 2D levels. Wasn't interested in the ultra hard stuff people were posting online. I wanted to make and play levels that felt like they were from a Nintendo game. And I spent ages doing this. I still have a series, you may have seen it on my YouTube channel, of me doing some stuff with Mario Maker. The music is massive part of this. Hearing new remixes while building, huge. Mario Maker 2 I absolutely love as well. I just think these two games are incredible. Just a very smart thing for Nintendo to do with the 2D Mario franchise, really. Let people make your own levels, and people have been calling for a Zelda, like a Zelda dungeon maker, which I'm all on board with. I love this like maker series. I think it'd be really, really cool. But if you're a creative person, fantastic game for you guys. If you're also someone who just wants to play new Mario content and interesting ideas, some incredible stuff out there that's been made. Would absolutely recommend. Like this series is like incredible. The stuff they added in the second one over time, oh, mind blowing. Just a very, very good franchise. Alright, moving on. Clubhouse Games. I think Clubhouse Games is actually pretty great. I think Clubhouse Games is going to go here. They released the second one on the Switch, so we had the one on the DS, and they released another one on the Switch, which was like 52 all-time classics, or whatever it was called. I think, in fact, in the EU, it's called 52 or 51 all-time classics Clubhouse Games. In the America, it's called that. It's just a compilation of a ton of games. You've got chess, you've got snooker, battle tanks, poker, Mancala, just tons of these cool like board games put into one package. I spent so much time playing, not Go, what's it called? Basically the one we have to flip the tokens over. Playing that, just hours and hours and hours and hours of fun. These games are, again, very casual, but I think they're very solid to have on hand. You want to do a bit of bowling? It's not perfect, but it's fun. Get the old Switch controls out. But just in general, this series is it's casual, like I said, but there's something on there for everybody. You want to sit down and play chess? You can. You want to play battle tanks? You can. You want to play some poker? You want to play some 21? You want to play a bunch of card games? You can. The Switch version has online. The DS one, me and my brother used to play a lot of. We used to play everything. Mahjong's on there, Spider Solitaire, Klondike Solitaire. just tons and tons and tons of games like to pass the time away. It's very much one of those games you put on, you play a couple rounds, you change to something else, or you just do something, you know, time killer kind of game. Perfect for a journey on a bus or a train with your Switch. You got some time, sit down, play a game of drafts, okay, maybe start a match of chess. Like, just really solid. You know, I hope that they do more of these games in the future. I hope every console that Nintendo puts out always has one of these. And it came out during COVID, and it was like the perfect thing. I loved it. Alright, F-Zero. Where are we going with F-Zero? Oh, I do like F-Zero GX a lot. Would I put it in A tier, though? That's the question. Let me think about this. F-Zero X I did enjoy, but didn't play a lot of. The original F-Zero doesn't really hold up that well. I haven't played many of the Game Boy Advance ones. So I think F-Zero is going to go here. I think GX is an incredible game, and GX alone's probably in God tier, because that game is incredible. Just F-Zero is just that franchise that Nintendo needs to stop dragging their ass around and just release a new one. We don't need a new gimmick. The game's all about high speed, crazy tracks. Just make a bunch of tracks. If nothing else, Nintendo, remake or remaster GX with nicer graphics and, like, you know, all those tracks, that crazy music that's like, you know, like all that sort of stuff. Put the Death Race mode back in there. You know, hard as nails games, half pipes spinning around, flying off the track. It's just, it's the one franchise. I'm like, come on. Like, Nintendo, this is the one game, this is the time, the Switch needs an F-Zero. You're not going to be making a new Mario Kart anytime soon. Bring me F-Zero. Come on, let's do it. Fantastic franchise, love it. Hopefully whatever the next game is, this will probably bump it up to A tier, but right now, F-Zero GX is incredible. But the games are, depending on your mileage, the games are kind of like either all consistent or a little bit up and down. I think GX is the best F-Zero game, but I think everyone kind of has, it's kind of like Mario Kart, everyone kind of has their own one of those. Alright. Where are we going? Oh, Golden Sun, by the way, I've not played, so that's going in there. I like the music, but I have not played it. Kid Icarus. I like the original game, but there's not much else to the series, so I think Kid Icarus is going in C tier for now. Now, that's not to say that Uprising is a bad game. I have not played Uprising. I played the original Kid Icarus. It's the only one I've played, and I did play a lot of it, and I was rubbish at it. But I do like the game, and I do want to see more of this franchise. I think this is a series that could do with a few more games in it, and that would really push it up. As long as they nail what they kind of want to do with it, and have it either as a kind of like fighty, button mashy type game, brawler, or like the flight game. But I do think, for me personally, I think I had more fun with Custom Robo, Star Fox, and Pilot Wings over Kid Icarus. I'd rather play this over Brain Age. But it is one of those franchises, kind of like, I haven't put Ice Climber on this list, I just realised. Ice Climber would be in C tier as well, but like some of those old NES games, Balloon Fight isn't on this list. Balloon Fight, by the way, probably would be above Kid Icarus. But that's the problem, Nintendo has so many bloody franchises. But yeah, Kid Icarus is I want to see it succeed. I want new games in this series, but from what I have played, it's just the first one, so I can't speak much else to it than that. So that's why it's down in C tier, and that's why these games are above it, because I've played these games a lot more, or at least with Star Fox, more games in the franchise. Alright, Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles is A tier for me. I had never played one of these until I played Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I bought it on a whim because I was like, you know what? I want to see what these games are about. I like Shulkid Smash. The music's great. Let me experience this game. And you know what? I'm glad I played that game. That game is phenomenal. That's not actually true. I did play Xenoblade Chronicles X before that, but I didn't get that far into it. I kind of like, I just need to go back and play it, basically, because I didn't fully understand what I was doing. But Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition really sold this series to me. Now, everything you've heard about the second game, like, yes, some of the character designs are pretty on the nose. However, there are some incredible character moments in the second game. There are some amazing landscapes you go to. The music is fantastic. The game as a whole, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, is good. There are some things you have to be aware of going in, and some dodgy writing. I will say that right now. And there's this like gacha mechanic in the game, but it doesn't. You don't pay like. There's no. You can't pay for anything in the game with real money. It's just there. Like you just basically spend these like shards and you spawn like what they call blades. And sometimes you get unique ones, and sometimes you don't. But there's a lot of effort going through to get new ones. But to be honest, by the halfway to near the end of the game, I had so many I could just keep using them and spawning. And some are guaranteed to be unique ones as well. But honestly, the franchise is really great. I want to play X again. I'm so looking forward to the new one coming out. But in terms of just one of Nintendo's premier RPGs, like Xenoblade's absolutely up there. So good. Alright. I think it's time we pulled out... yeah, oh, by the way, you guys might not know this. I've played so little of Animal Crossing that I can't even comment on it. I think Animal Crossing is an A-tier Nintendo franchise, but I haven't played it, so I'm not even going to go there. You know what I have played, though? ARMS. You know what? Fuck it. ARMS is going there. I don't care what anybody says. There's only one game in this series, so it's not technically a franchise. ARMS is one of the best things Nintendo has made since the Switch has launched. I think the game is incredibly colourful. It's a much more chill fighting game in the sense that because the idea is you have the Joy-Con here and you punch and you bend to like move it, it's not crazy. Like you just tilt left and right. You can play it with a controller, but if you want to play the best experience, you lean left and right to move. You have your buttons on the top for blocking and grab, or you chuck them both out to grab, and then you just punch, and it is just phenomenal. The character designs are incredible. The music is fantastic. I played a shitload of this online because this is one of the best online experiences I've ever had on Nintendo things, and in my opinion, this is a franchise I really want to go. The fact this game did sold a million is bonkers. Fighting games don't usually do well, but for me personally, ARMS is just ARMS. I say this not very lightly. ARMS shits on a lot of other stuff in terms of just pure quality. Like a lot of all these other games, like Splatoon, Xenoblade, Wii Sports, quality products. F-Zero, quality products. In fact, pretty much most Nintendo stuff is quality. ARMS to me just feels like it's like got that extra bit of spice and sauce, and it's just, yeah, not many people go to bat for ARMS, I don't think, and I think ARMS is just, it's up there. ARMS is one of the top 10 best games on Switch. Maybe my number 10, maybe somewhere lower, but like ARMS is that good. I really, really rate ARMS. And I hope to see we get a sequel called Legs. That would be amazing if it was called Legs. But yeah, like all the characters like Springman and Min Min and the rest of the characters that I can't remember the names of, Lola Pop. Like the character designs were so cool, and yeah, I think ARMS is just an incredible game. If you haven't played ARMS, definitely go and play it. All right, let's go with Donkey Kong Country. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me right now, but Donkey Kong Country is in God tier. As you may have seen, Greg said this was just a platformer. I have to strongly disagree. I think this has got some of the best level designs in platforming games ever. You know, I know, to be fair to Greg, he hasn't played Returns and he hasn't played Tropical Freeze. And there are some incredible level designs in there. Some of the best I've just ever seen and ever played on. But if you look at the original franchise, the original 3 games, the first game has the whole barrel cannon levels. Very, very, very cool. You have like Blackout Basement with the lights going on and off. You have the factory theme. You've got some of the best underwater music. The soundtrack to the first and second game are legendary. And I would go as far to say, actually, I just need to do that. Just need to make sure, actually, like, I love Super Mario Maker, but Donkey Kong Country, David Wise is my favorite composer of all time, and he, like, the look of these games and that just nailed it. Returns has some incredible levels in it. Tropical Freeze has some incredible levels. It has the return of David Wise. The music is fantastic, one of the best soundtracks ever made, and all of these things combine to make just some of the best platforming games ever. Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favourite in terms of controls and how that game plays. Donkey Kong Country is right up his ass second. Donkey Kong Country 2 is a fantastic game. Incredible concepts tonight. Bramble Blast, very original. So as far as I'm concerned, Donkey Kong Country has some of the best level designs in that series. Has some of the coolest like looking levels. We haven't just got your Mario like Desert Waterland. No, we got Bramble Land, we got Carnival, we got swamps, we got ships, we've got ice caves, we've got so much stuff, and then we've got jelly levels in the later ones. Like, it's really hard to knock the level design in the Donkey Kong games, Donkey Kong Country specifically. So, like, for me personally, I should say this does kind of, I didn't bother having Donkey Kong separate. I haven't got the arcade games separate to anything, so you can kind of include the arcade games in this as well. Like, the Donkey Kong Country series really is what pushes this up. Donkey Kong 64, not a game that I've played, so I can't really speak to it, even if I know the quality is not great. But the Donkey Kong Country series is absolutely sublime, and is just one of the best. Just one of the best. Alright, where are we going next? Kirby series. Ooh, this is tricky, because I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land is an incredible game, and I think that really puts it in super high tier, god tier for me. But I just don't think. You know what? I'm gonna be a tiny little bit controversial. I think put it in A tier, but I'm gonna put it after Wario Land. I think the Kirby games are consistently fun and great. They are a bit easier than Mario games, but they do really cool things. You have obviously the being able to suck things in and transform. You have a ton of different. You have like the paint and brush games. Generally speaking, the Kirby games, quality across the board. Very consistent. Very fun. Great music. Very colourful. Very charming. Quite dark bosses and stuff. Forgotten Land really pushes this series. Like, Forgotten Land is an incredible game. I agree with what Greg said in his list. The co-op seems a bit weak, but as a single-player game, phenomenal. Easily my game of the year so far. Like, just, like, Nintendo really know how to make platformers. All their platforming series are really fucking good. But yeah, Forgotten Land is just sublime. If you've got a Switch and you don't own some Forgotten Land, go and buy it. It is so good. You will not be disappointed. Very good franchise. Becoming Nintendo's like into God tier basically. If they do another one like Forgotten Land, then easily in God tier. Alrighty, Pikmin. Where would I put Pikmin? I think Pikmin goes in B tier. They're under Power Tennis and F-Zero. I think Pikmin is very cute. I think Pikmin is very cool. It's kind of an RTS game, which is interesting. Nintendo doing that. However, I just think they're fun, but I don't think they're perfect games by means. But I do like the fact that the third one is co-op. There's even a battle mode in the third one. They're very solid, but I think for me, like, as much as I liked playing Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 1, I never really got into them that much. I do think that they are deserving to be high end of B tier, definitely over a lot of this stuff, because they are just really charming and really well put together games. They are a little bit more complicated to play, and I think it's just one of those franchises. It's always nice to see it. You always like to play it, but it's never really going to hit the heights. I think they need to do something. Like the time limit in the first game really put me off. I'm kind of glad they got rid of that in the second one. And I really liked playing the second one, but it's been such a long time and it's not a franchise I think about a lot. So Pikmin's going in there. Alright, where are we going next? Mario Strikers. Easy A tier. But where though, you say? Where is it going? There, I think Mario Strikers is like my favourite Mario Sports series. The first and the second game are just incredible. Like I've said before, it's like Mario Kart on steroids. That doesn't make any sense because Mario Kart has items. But yeah, what I mean by that is that it's football, but you basically have an electric fence. You have items. It is all over the place. You have super shots. You can nut people. The game's got some of the best attitude and quality. The visual style and the artwork is amazing. Man, Strikers is so good. I am looking forward to the new one, if I am a little bit worried that it might be a little bit content light. But the gameplay is usually pretty fantastic, and it just the series next level games just brought made these games ooze with so much charm. It's crazy how like just how good these games are. Like fantastic games. And I think I would play it over a lot of this other stuff here, which is weird, but you know, I get excited for stuff like this. It's been so long since we've had one. A lot of people rag on Strikers Charged on the Wii, and I was like, nah, man, that game is incredible. Just again, we've got two very good games in a franchise, you know, which might be unfair because Kirby's got a lot more games, so maybe the consistency isn't as good. But yeah, Strikers. Ooh. Right, this Game & Watch system, by the way, represents Game & Watch Gallery on the Game Boy Advance, which is a collection of Game & Watch games with updated visuals. I actually like these games, but we're going to stick it probably here. So what that represents is Game & Watch Gallery 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think that was the ones they released on... Was it Game Boy Color? Might be Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. But yeah, they went back, got rid of those 8-bit or 4-bit like static things with Mr. Game & Watch. You can still play those versions, but they added in brand new music, brand new like sprites and stuff, and they were just really fun compilations. You unlocked a bunch of new extra games, you unlocked a bunch of like extra stuff, because that was cool about it. Like you unlocked like gallery content, and they were just a solid set of games. And honestly, some of that music is ingrained in my head for the rest of my life. They are just small pick up and play things, but that's why they were so good on the Game Boy, because you could sit and pick up and play for like 10-20 minutes, have a really good run, put it down, come back to it, or play a different game. They are really good compilations, and that was really fun to... I remember playing those games a lot. Just solid. Very, very, very good. Luigi's Mansion, I also have not played a lot of that, so that's going and did not played. Simply because I have played such a small amount of the second one. I will say I think this franchise is probably A tier now after the third game. It seems to be a franchise that people really, really like. But for me personally, can't rate it, didn't play it. Mario and Luigi. I really like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I say this now, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga has the best battle music in any RPG ever, bar none. You can take your Final Fantasy and take it. The usual common battle that you get in this is amazing. Where do I put this? Probably there, I think. You know what? I think that's better than Splatoon. I think I prefer this to Splatoon. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga is an incredible game. Partners in Time, I really enjoyed that. Didn't finish it, but really enjoyed that. And then I played Paper Jam. A lot of people hated on Paper Jam. I know why. It wasn't the best game, but I really, really liked it. Again, the battle systems, because it's so active, the fact you have different buttons for different characters, just oh my god, these games are just so good. I didn't play Inside Story, and I didn't play Luigi's like Dream Team, I think is what it's called. So I can't really speak to those. But the other 3 games I did play, and I really, really like them, and I think they are just very, very good, very funny RPGs, lots of silly humor. But like I said, that battle system is really what sells it. And the first game's like I said, that battle music, oh my god, so good. But yeah, definitely A tier series. Unfortunately, Alpha Dream is shut down now, so I don't know whether we'll ever get another Mario and Luigi game, unfortunately. Alright, Mario Party. Mario Party's a weird one, because it's fun, but you know what, I'm going to stick it here. Down here with Mario and Sonic. Go there. I think these... If you've played the original games on the N64, which I have not, a lot of people would probably rate this higher. I think this franchise, unfortunately, has gone through a lot of ups and downs. I think Super Mario Party was actually fun. I think the newest one, I've forgotten what it's called, Mario Party Collection thing on Switch is actually really good. And I liked Mario Party 8 or 9, whichever one it was on the Wii. And 4, Mario Party 4 as well. But a lot of the other stuff was just massively dipped in quality for a long, long time. And I think that's kind of the problem. These games are fun. They're kind of like, you dig it out when you've got a bunch of people around, you'll have a laugh. They're very silly, but that's kind of what they're there for. They're very much party games. But I do think it's one of those franchises that's just like, it's always going to be good-ish. and fun, but it's not something you really want to play on your own. You can play the new one online, which is good, but yeah, in terms of just quality and stuff, it's kind of all over the place. I don't feel like I want to put that in any higher. Alright. Mario Golf. I had fun with Mario Golf. Probably. You know what? Nah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm putting Mario Golf in C tier. I don't think Mario Golf's bad. I liked the GameCube one and I played the DS one, but it's golf. Like, I know people enjoy it. I haven't played the one on Switch. I know people enjoy these ones, and I did have fun with Toadstool Tour. But out of all the sports titles, like, it's alright. I think tennis is more fun, it's faster paced. I think Strikers is just incredibly good. Maybe that's my biases in what sports I like. I think golf is, don't get me wrong, golf is solid, but it's just, it's golf. Like, yeah, that's about all I can say on it. I just don't, like, would I play it over these games? Yeah, probably. I don't know about these games though. I think even Mario and Sonic and the Big Games is more fun than golf. Alright, Donkey Konga. This is a weird one. Donkey Konga. Probably there. I really like rhythm games, and I really like Donkey Konga 1 and 2. I have the barrel controls for them. That's about all I can say. Is I just really like it. I don't think it's bad at any means. Yeah, it's just fun. It's very easy in a lot of ways, but honestly, it's fun. I like it. There's not really else to say about it, really. It's just like, it's a good party game, but I just really got into it. Like, I really got into Guitar Hero when that came out. And even single player, I just like a lot of the music on there. Like, very silly. There's some mini games. We're never going to get another one of them. But I don't think it's down here in C. Like, this is definitely a game I would dig out from time to time, and I have done recently, so. Okie dokie, where are we going next? We're whittling down to some WarioWare. Let's go there next. I'm kind of leaving a lot of this till the end. WarioWare. This is definitely better than Mario Party. I think WarioWare probably goes here. You know what? I'm going to move Mario and Sonic and the Big Games into C tier. I think Mario and Sonic and the Big Games, they are good, but again, they're just kind of not quite as fun as Mario Party, but more fun than Mario Golf. That's kind of how I'm thinking it right now. But it's a series I still like, you know, but I don't think, actually thinking about it, where I've just put WarioWare. I think WarioWare is a much better party game than Mario Party. It's funny. It's very innovative. Yeah, you know the word I'm trying to say. Innovative. I can't say it. That's funny. But the Wii one was just really, really clever. With the whole putting the Wii remote in different positions, having it on the face, putting it above your head, pumping the thing. The Game Boy Advance one and then the port on the GameCube, they're hilarious. These games are funny, like really funny. They are very short burst games, but this is the game you dig out if you don't want to play an hour-long version of Mario Party. I think it's just so fast. You just have such a laugh. There's a lot to them. Like, just like Nintendo's best like micro party games, basically. And they're just, watching other people play them is always funny, especially when they've never played them before and they have no idea what's going on. So B tier for that one. Okay, I feel like we're getting quite close to a lot of A's and potentially here. Right, let's address the elephant in the room right now. Advance Wars. Right, I think is S tier, but realistically, this is an A tier franchise. Advance Wars is one of the most consistently good Nintendo games. Right, 1 and 2. 2's a bit similar to the first one, but 1, 2, Dual Strike, amazing games. Dark Conflict, very dark, very different, but also actually quite balanced. But the games themselves are awesome across the board. Quite frankly, I am massively biased towards Advance Wars. The soundtracks in the first 3 games are some of the best soundtracks ever in a Nintendo game. You know, Donkey Kong Country, probably my favourite, then maybe Advance Wars. So good. Just simplified tactics games, very good, very pick up and play, very user friendly. Literally just can't wait for the remakes to come out. Looking forward to hearing the music in that. I don't have much bad to say about Advance Wars, that's just my bias showing. But it is easily one of Nintendo's best franchises in terms of consistently good. There's only 4 games right now, there's a new one coming out. And that alone puts it higher up on for me. Like, yes, I'd rather play Advance Wars over the Wario Land series, which is one of my favourite. Wario Land 2 is my favourite Game Boy game. Over Strikers, over Kirby, over ARMS, all these other games here. But, I don't really care. Like, this franchise is amazing. And it's as simple as that. It's just, that's how it is. There's no arguing this, right? This is simply the facts, right? I'm giving you the facts. Alright. Here's a little weird one. Battalion Wars technically comes under the Wars series. Technically, Wars covers Famicom and all that sort of Wars' games, but we're going to have Advanced be its own thing. Battalion Wars I absolutely love, but I can't actually put it any higher than B, because there's only 2 games in it, and I don't think we're ever going to get another one. It's made by Kuju Entertainment, but it is actually technically part of the Wars series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in B. I really like these games. I think it's going to go here. No, yeah, definitely there. If you haven't played Battalion Wars or never heard of it, I don't blame you. There was a GameCube game one and there was a Wii one. They were kind of like you could pause the game and like command troops, but it was a third-person wars game. You could switch between troops. Before it was called Battalion Wars, it was actually called Advance Wars something or other. You need to go and look these games up. Go and look them up, see for yourself. They're basically alternate World War II games. I really like both games. I think they're a lot of fun. The second one had online as well on the Wii, but they're just fun games. They're very hard, from what I remember, but fantastic franchise. Would love to see a new one. Probably never going to happen. Alright. Metroid. Easily God tier. Easily God tier. My Metroid picture there covers both the 2D and the 3D ones. I'm not the biggest fan of playing Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. That's not to say I don't think they're good games. I think they are fantastic games. But I just couldn't. I've tried starting Metroid Prime 1 quite a few times. Same with Metroid Prime 3. I just don't get into them, but I think they are some awesome games. Incredible music, incredible atmosphere. However, the 2D ones, Metroid Fusion is a fantastic game. Metroid Zero Mission is one of the best remakes, if not the best remake I've ever played of a Metroid game. Metroid Dread is my favourite. I think Metroid Dread is the best Metroid game. It just feels so good to play. And I like Samus Returns. I like Metroid 2, the original. And yeah, I think Metroid is one of the most underappreciated Nintendo franchises because it's more adult. There's a lot more adult themes going on. I even like Other M, as I know that's a sticking point for a lot of people, but I like Other M. Metroid Prime Pinball is also really good. Prime Hunters was okay. Yeah, I didn't play Federation Force. But honestly, every Metroid game I've played, I've enjoyed. I think Samus is a badass character. I love the design of the games. They are fantastic action-adventure games. And quite frankly, one of Nintendo's like premium games. They might not sell amazingly well, but they are like super premium. Alright. Okay. Fire Emblem. You know what? I really like Fire Emblem because it's turn-based as well. But I think Fire Emblem goes here for me. Ooh, no. Ooh. Do I put fire? Ooh, this is tough. No. Okay. No. Fire Emblem goes there. Fire Emblem Awakening is an incredible game. Fire Emblem Fates, I enjoyed that very much. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I enjoyed that very much. I love what Intelligent Systems did with the older Fire Emblem games, which felt like, they came out on the Game Boy Advance and the DS. They had earlier ones, and obviously on the NES and the SNES, but they had that same feel as Advance Wars. They had the same sort of art style. I think Fire Emblem blew up because it was more character-driven and because of RPG elements, whereas I liked Advance Wars because it's more modern day, like tanks and stuff versus swords and axes. And I get that sometimes some people prefer the RPG side of it, whereas me, I prefer the tactical side of it. But Fire Emblem is just an incredible franchise. Most of the games are really good. I would love to have seen Nintendo just bring over all the old ones, remake all the old ones that haven't come out. But the ones I've played, I've enjoyed all of them. I've played the one on the Wii, I can't think what's already in Dawn. Like I said, Fire Emblem Three Houses, and the 3DS ones, and Sacred Stones, and Shadow Dragon. So I've played quite a few. Very, very solid franchise. A little bit samey, I'll be honest. But that's kind of how Advance Wars is a little bit samey. Just solidly, really, really good games. I think Three Houses has an amazing storyline. I picked the Blue Lions, whichever the one had, not Claude, the other dude. The guy on the left in the picture, I can't think of his name. Loved that story, loved that how well that went. And gameplay-wise was just phenomenal. Really, really, really solid franchise. Okay, so we're getting down to very little things. I don't know why I've left Dr. Mario until like the last here. Dr. Mario is a lot of fun. Dr. Mario probably goes in... I would definitely prefer to play Dr. Mario over Mario Party, so that says that. I think Dr. Mario goes here. I like these games. I like Tetris. I like drop block puzzles. Dr. Mario is a lot of fun. I'm crap at it, but it has great music, and I always come back to it. It's a very pick up and play game, and they've released different ones. We don't have one on Switch yet, which I would like to see a new one put on the eShop. But I like it. I think it's a very, very fun franchise, if a bit simple. And I think for that reason alone, it is a good B tier thing. I think it's consistently good again. You know, it's one of those ones, just consistently good. And that's about much I've got to say about it. It's just a good puzzle game. And anything that's like Tetris, Pack Attack, Dr. Mario, anything where you have to drop blocks down from the ceiling, I'm there for that. Alright, so we're left with Mario Kart, Pokemon, Smash, and Zelda. Let's get Pokemon out the way. I am not the hardcore Pokemon person I used to be. I really like Red and Blue, and I really like Gold and Silver. And then I haven't played one in a very, very long time. I have this covering Pokken, I have this covering all the side games, just everything. For me, Pokemon is A tier. It is not God tier. I know that might seem... But for me, I think Pokemon probably goes... there. Which might be quite shocking for a lot of people. I don't think Pokemon's necessarily bad. I just kind of grew out of it. I loved the first couple of games. Loved Yellow as well. But I have no drive to go back and play them. I almost bought Sword and Shield, and then just didn't. And then even the new ones, like nothing's bringing me back in. Like for me, like the first 251 Pokemon, I'm like, yes, totally fine with that. I love the music and stuff like that. It's not to say these games are bad. I mean, I can see why anyone would put this in like Nintendo's top tier, but I just feel like the quality they're very samey. There's a lot of those games. The quality's not always where it needs to be. Like, even the originals weren't amazing in quality, but they worked, and it was such a crazy game back on the Game Boy. I just can't put it above some of these other franchises. Like yes, I'd rather play. I think I'd rather play like the remakes of Gold and Silver. I'd like to play Let's Go, Pikachu or Eevee, because it's based in Kanto, and so that's like nostalgia for me. But I don't have nostalgia for most of the series, so I cannot put this any higher in good conscience. Like, yes, the classic games, love them, but that's about it. Alright. Smash. Let's just get this away. Smash is my favourite franchise ever. All I'm going to say is I love Smash. Ultimate is the best game ever made. I don't need to say any more. As much as I love platformer games, Smash is just everything to me. The soundtracks are incredible, everything else is incredible, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing ever going to come out that's ever going to top Smash for me. And yes, there's going to be lots of franchises here that people think are better than Smash, but I don't care. This is my tier list. Smash is Smash. There is no series that Nintendo makes that is better than Smash. Ultimate is the best game ever made, and that is that. Right, Mario Kart and Zelda. Mario Kart, let's put this where it belongs. In A tier. Mario Kart, I guess, again, could go into S tier. But I feel like... You know what? Fuck it. I changed my mind. Mario Kart is going to S tier. Mario Kart is probably one of Nintendo's most beloved franchises. Most of the games are good. I think Double Dash onwards, pretty much all the games are good. I hate Mario Kart 64, but personally I think it's really boring. But that game holds a very special place in a lot of people's hearts. Mario Kart Wii is really good. 8 Deluxe, having all the content is, they're just incredible. The gameplay is really, really good. The only downside to the new ones is they've kind of got rid of the battle mode. But other than that, Like, this franchise is consistently great. The 8 still looks incredible. Like, I can't put that any lower. Like, that is an incredible series. Now, Zelda. Now, let me give you some context before I put this on here, because I was not a Zelda fan, really, especially the 3D games. So for me, Breath of the Wild is mind-blowing, right? So if I had to put Breath of the Wild on this list specifically, that is god-tier game. That is one of the most god-tier games up there with Odyssey, with Ultimate, things like that, with Metroid Dread, like, easily. However, my favourite Zelda games are Link Between Worlds, Link to the Past, Oracle of Seasons, but a lot of the Zelda games that are out there, I either didn't like or didn't play. Not a big fan of the original 2. Ocarina of Time I thought was okay, but I didn't play it at the time. Majora's Mask is very interesting. Twilight Princess I haven't played. I played a bit of Wind Waker, I like that game. I haven't played Skyward Sword. So, and this might be the most upsetting thing for a lot of people, I'm going to put it here. And I'm not going to put it in God tier, simply because I really wasn't a Zelda fan until Breath of the Wild. Like, I did enjoy the content coming out. Zelda is absolutely, for a lot of people, is going to be like the best thing Nintendo makes, right? And I get that, and I'm not going to dispute that. I completely understand why. To me, Zelda and Mario are technically on the same level of like just what Nintendo did and the greatness that has come from those games. But I can't in good conscience put this in the same level as Mario for me personally, right? Breath of the Wild, absolutely. If this was individual games, Breath of the Wild is like easily my top 5 games, right? Top 10, top 5, something like that, right? Incredible game. Probably one of the best games ever made. Probably will be one of the best games ever made. But I wasn't as hyped on Ocarina of Time. I didn't play it when it came out. Majora's Mask I've not played. I've not played Twilight Princess. I've not played Skyward Sword. So, okay, so that eliminates most of the 3D games. I played Minish Cap. That was kind of fun, but very forgettable. I've played Link's Awakening. Again, kind of just odd. Very odd game. Link Between Worlds. Fantastic game. Could say that one. Great. Really good use of that level. Link to the Past. Also really good. Seasons. Really good. Ages. Really good. But none of those games got to that level. Apart from Link Between Worlds, which is probably my second favourite Zelda game. Apart from like that and Breath of the Wild, none of the other games hit those incredible high notes that everyone else has experienced for Zelda. So I'm not sitting here saying Zelda's bad, because it's not. It's a fantastic franchise. They do some crazy fun stuff. There's incredible soundtracks and all this other stuff. But is Zelda in my god tier list? Like, no. Like, Smash, Mario, Donkey Kong, Mario Maker, Metroid, and Mario Kart. I would rather play these games over the Zelda franchise, or these franchises over this. If we were breaking them down, so this is Smash Ultimate, this is Mario Brothers 3, this is Donkey Kong Country, either Mario Makers, Metroid, Mario Kart 8 probably, and Breath of the Wild, then yeah, Breath of the Wild would probably be there. But because this isn't individual games and this is the franchise, for me personally, I cannot put Zelda in God tier, right? All of these franchises I would rather play than Zelda, right? However, give me Breath of the Wild, I'm all for it. I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever it's called, right? That's how much of an impact Breath of the Wild had on me. I know this is probably the biggest thing. People are going to be like, how dare you? This is clearly like one of the best franchises. But it's a simple case of, I just enjoyed the game. I was never high on the games like most people were. I was always a Mario kid. Simple as that. Like, I really was. And then Smash came along and Donkey Kong came along, and it's like, you know, and Metroid's massively converted me in the last few years. So it's like, yeah. So here you go. That is my Nintendo franchise tier list. It's not every game. Just realised it's a little bit big. Let's just knock me down there. It's not every game, but every franchise. But this is like most of the common ones people know. I really hope that there's a conversation down below of all this, if you can be bothered to watch this hour-long video. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun actually, going through this and placing things. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, if you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.